Welcome back. Now, we may be a nation who loves our sleep, but did you know 4 out of 5 people now say that they're suffering from sleep problems, with some experts even talking about a new phenomenon called coronasomnia.
After the year that we've just had, who's to blame them? So how do we stop the tossing and turning and make way for a slumbersome 2021? Well, sleep technologist Deirdre McSwiney joins us now with some help. A very good morning to you, Deirdre.
Hi there, everybody.
How did you sleep last night?
I never even think about it, and that's the thing.
OK, and I know you mentioned that before, and it's so true. We can overthink it. Simon mentioned in the intro there that quite a lot of us are suffering from sleep issues at the moment. This is obviously exaggerated because of the times and COVID that we're living through, Deirdre.
Yep, very much so. For starters, we have to accept, and all the other geniuses on the whole healthcare world will project the notion to you that there is low-grade anxiety out there in the population about so many different aspects. You know, looking after our children, looking after ourselves, the mental health issues that have arisen and are about to come thundering down the tracks, I would say. So, yeah, sleep is in there as one of those topics, if you like, that if we can mind it and look after it carefully, perhaps a lot of other elements would slip into the background more.
In terms of our sleeping patterns, Deirdre, where are we going wrong? You know, do we put too much pressure on ourselves? God, I need to get a good night's sleep. You know, you're already preempting that tomorrow, if I don't get a good night's sleep tonight, I'm not going to feel... Where are we going wrong? Are we putting ourselves under too much pressure?
Well, and there is such a thing as sleep pressure, or sleep effort, as it's called, where people know they have a tough day tomorrow. It's somebody's turn to look after homeschooling, but you have a meeting that you have to zoom into at a particular time and stuff to have prepped for it. Simon and Anna, there is such a thing that we now talk about, such as tired but wired, where people are falling into bed, absolutely exhausted, but as soon as they hit the pillow, their head is going. And this is the whole point about a kind of a wind down, if you like, a nice wind down, clear out everything. I often say to people, just set aside a couple of minutes for yourself in the early part of your evening and take out a bit of paper, write down things that have happened about today, how it went for you, how you feel about it, and then dump it, forget about it. And on the same bit of paper, write down a couple of pointers about your to-do list for tomorrow. Now, not necessarily related to work or whether you have to do the geography class with the 8-year-old tomorrow, but it is a case of the other stuff that hangs out of us. So that when you're getting to bed, if you like, you feel you've everything taken care of for tomorrow because it's down there in the kitchen on the worktop on a bit of paper.
But Deirdre, can you do that? Can you do that same exercise, not physically? Because as you said, like, people are exhausted. And, you know, speaking as a parent who's homeschooling and that, everybody's knackered. And having the time to go and find a piece of paper and write, could you go to bed and just go through that in your mind even? Would that be an exercise?
No. That's too much busy brain stuff at the wrong time, Simon. You know, it's really a case of, OK, don't go looking for the bit of paper. But I'm just saying, have a think about things in the early part of your evening. So that brain is cleared of the dross that does swing out of us, so that when you are getting to bed, you're getting to bed in a much more contented way, that knowing you've everything taken care of for tomorrow.
It's like filing and editing your brain, isn't it, before you wind down, Deirdre?
Yeah. And the other thing I also like to push at people is that regardless of the kind of night sleep you think you've had, and you heard that word think, that you get up at the same time every morning. And that's why I was kind of giggling to myself there before the break when Aidan said, anybody in humour for a mid-morning nap? Absolutely not on, Aidan. But I'm just simply saying that, you know, your nighttime sleep for the following night is built on building sleep pressure throughout your day.
OK, well, in terms of tips that we can, in terms of our lifestyle, what are a few tips that we can look at about in terms of improving our sleep?
Yeah, well, one of the graphics that was thrown up there was caffeine, alcohol, diet, exercise, etc. Caffeine, we really have to be very careful of it. For people who are having difficulty getting off to sleep, I really say to people, please watch your caffeine intake and give up caffeine from kind of 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the evening. And please just be very careful, because things like a lot of soft drinks contain caffeine,
Yeah.
a lot of over-the-counter medications contain caffeine, and chocolate contains caffeine. So, just mind stuff. And I mean, try it for about 2 weeks to see if it makes any difference for you. Nicotine is also a stimulant. I'm often mildly amused at people who tell me they love that last relaxing fag on the side of the bed. It's not relaxing. It'll actually push your blood pressure up by about 10 points and increase your breathing rate. So in other words, it's longer for you to come back down again. And of course, never ever smoke in the middle of the night if you're awake for long periods. Alcohol is a different...
We have lots of questions, sorry to interrupt you, Deirdre, to get through here. So I might go to Linda's question. It's an interesting one. I work nights, usually up to 13 hours. I fall asleep pretty easily, but always wake up 2 or 3 hours and can't go back asleep. It works out at approximately, you're not going to be happy with this, 9 to 10 hours sleep in 3 days. I feel like my health, mood and anxiety levels are being badly affected. Can you help, please?
Oh my goodness, that is horrific. That is dreadful. For people who are doing regular night duty, the advice clearly is coming off in the morning. And I mean, most people on a night shift like that finish about 7 or half 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. Wear dark glasses in the car, even on the way home, because it starts to darken down your brain and starts melatonin flow. When you come in the morning into the house, prioritize sleep for yourself. So there's no need to put on that wash or set the dishwasher going. Go into the living room if necessary, keep the curtains shut, sit and chill a little bit in front of the TV or something like that to just unwind yourself and get yourself off to bed in a truly sleepy state at that stage. For difficulties getting back to sleep, I just really encourage people, to get into some nice mindfulness techniques that they can adopt for themselves. Because the other is, if it's that persistent in terms of getting you up kind of later morning after only 3 or 4 hours, give yourself the luxury of a nap in the later part of the afternoon before you get back in on night duty again. So in other words, you're collecting sleep in a slightly different format than obviously is recommended, but you seem to need it to actually keep yourself going on night duty. For people who do regular nights like that, it is a recommendation that before you go on the first of your run of night duties, you do grab some sleep by having a nap in the early part of the the later part of the afternoon, I should say.
Okay.
And similarly, when you come off nights, shorten your sleep a little bit to get yourself back on track for your normal nighttime sleep.
Very good. Sarah wants to know, she said, I normally need to watch a film or something on my laptop or TV in order to fall asleep. And she said when she does sleep, she wakes the next morning. So she gets a night's sleep. But she wants to know, is that bad? Because she said, I've tried going to bed without my phone, but I end up just overthinking and lying there for hours awake.
There is no need to watch anything before you go off to bed. Your head and mind should be in tune that you are really reading, and I'm putting that in inverted commas here, but that you're understanding what true sleepiness is. Sarah is using bed as her entertainment space. And bed is not for entertainment, apart from the obvious. But it just is a case that you should not need any of the accessories for living in your bedroom. Go to bed in a truly sleepy state. And if that's the case, I would suggest to Sarah that she try again a week or two of this, of simply going to bed much later. Almost the length of time it'll take her to watch a film in bed. But blue light contamination is well known as a major disturber in sleep.
Okay.
One really quick question, Deirdre, before we let you go. Linda says, I'm a very light sleeper, and even if my hubby turns over in the bed, I wake up. I easily get back to sleep afterwards, so I'm just wondering if this pattern is bad for me. So disrupted sleep, but falls back asleep quickly.
That's very good, very nice. Hang on to it, but stop creating a label for yourself where you call yourself a light sleeper. We all have several arousals as part of normal sleep anyway. It just so happens she's very conscious of your man there.
Very good. Sage advice, as always, Deirdre. Thanks for your time this morning. Appreciate it.
Yep. Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you, Deirdre. I think we all need Deirdre in the corner of our bedroom going, turn off the phone, get the laptop out.
Get that phone out of this
She's very
room.
strict, isn't she?
Yeah, brilliant though.
But you'd listen, yeah.